Hey, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It is Kargoz, and today I want to share with you a very personal video, and probably the most important video that I've ever attempted to make here on YouTube. Now, for better or for worse, gaming has always played a large role in my life, and I've always dreamed of reflecting on all the games I've played over the years and formally organizing my top 20 favorite games of all time. And that's what I've done here today. Now, this might seem a little dramatic, but I take comfort in the fact that if I were to pass away tomorrow, the people in my life or future generations, if for whatever reason if they wanted to learn about me and what I was all about, they could look to this video and get a pretty good sense of who I was. Now, I'm a 90s baby. I was born in late December 1990 as an only child, and I grew up in a suburban town just outside of New York City called Larchmont. I was a normal kid. I was a happy kid. I had good friends and good family, and I grew up just like you guys. Super Soakers, Game Boys, Tamagotchis, Nerf guns, Pokemon cards, Warhammer, Magic the Gathering, Dragon Ball, NBA Street, NFL Blitz, Lunchables, Xbox, N64s, PlayStations, GameCubes, Smash Mouth, Nas, Ludacris, PSPs, Cartoon Network, the Chicago Bulls constantly winning, Toy Story, Disney movies, Saving Private Ryan, Lord of the Rings, The Matrix. I could go on and on, man. Anyways, making this video was a blast, don't get me wrong, but at times it was really frustrating because I care deeply about these games and I want to do them all justice. And trying to organize your favorite games of all time in a kind of linear black and white way with a top 20 was difficult. So number 20 narrowly beat out Perfect Dark for this slot, and that's saying a lot because Perfect Dark is a great game, and that's going to be Goldeneye. Goldeneye was a first-person shooter released in 1997 on the Nintendo 64, and this game was amazing. Not only was the single player so good, amazing level design, such high replayability, people speedrun it to this day, the variety of weapons, the idea that you kind of stealth through the levels, really good single player, but the multiplayer at the time was revolutionary. This was a console game with FPS that had split-screen multiplayer, and everybody was playing it at school. And you go over to some kid's house, you already just expect they have Goldeneye, and you're testing your Goldeneye skills all the time. I've played hundreds of hours of this game. Such a good game. Moving on, number 19 is Spyro the Dragon. The reason why this game means a lot to me is my dad bought it for me, and we played this game together a lot. It's one of the only games we've played together. And it's not like how it is today. Back then, if you had a parent that was down with video games and actually played video games, it was kind of really cool. And we would go back and forth playing all these levels, and the fact that he could actually control Spyro really well and play not as a noob and just be good at the game, I thought that was amazing. And you'd go around saving dragons and collecting gems and headbutting stuff, and this game critically got really good reviews. It had a lot of depth to the game as well, and for that reason, Spyro the Dragon is number 19. Number 18, oh boy, this is a good one. Age of Empires. So, do you guys remember that feeling when you first saw World of Warcraft? That kind of crack cocaine, serotonin rush feeling? I had that exact same feeling when I saw Age of Empires for the first time. I was over at my buddy Carlos's house. I saw him playing Age of Empires 2. And I remember it crystal clear to this day. He was building a Palisades wall in kind of an L shape. And I saw the workers going over to build the wall. And it just hit home with me, like home run. I had to play this game. It looked so cool. I love military history, the fact you could play as all these different civilizations, have all these different units. This is one of my first introductions to the RTS genre, and the graphics looked amazing. The idea that you could make farms and mine gold and collect food, it was amazing. It was such a cool game. It had a lot of depth. Like I said, there was a map editor to it. There was multiplayer, and other ones too. Other Age of Empires is really good too. I have the remastered edition, Age of Empires 3. Also, Age of Mythology. That's another slept-on one. That's where you're controlling the mythological creatures. You're playing as the Greeks. You got minotaurs, centaurs. You have titans and stuff. Really good games. Number 17, Metal Gear Solid. Now, my favorite of this IP is the 1998 game on PlayStation 1 that came out. The main character, this is an action-adventure stealth game, and the main character's name is Solid Snake. And the original was so good. It was dark, and it seemed really badass. The fact that you're like neutralizing terrorists and sneaking through, it just had that very serious, cool vibe to it. I've always loved those kind of those military type games. So that was really cool to me. And even the newer Metal Gear Solids, like Phantom Pain, Ground Zeroes, those are really good as well. But the original and Metal Gear 3 as well on PS2, those are my favorites. Number 16, Gran Turismo. I'm not a racing game fan. Really, I'm not a racing guy. But this game is on this list, again, kind of for sentimental reasons a little bit. I was at the mall. I remember it as clear as day. I'm at the mall, and I was like asking my dad, could I please get a game? And he kind of reluctantly was like, yeah, you can get a game. And I went in, I saw Gran Turismo. It was in this fatty little container. I think it was like a deluxe edition or something. It had a bunch of discs in it. And it was for PS1, and I bought it, and I came home and I played it, and I thought I thought this game was the future. The graphics were so good, and even if you look at the game right now, it's serviceable graphics. It's not really the worst graphics in the world. And back then, it was such a good game to me. And even though I'm not a huge racing guy, I played this game for an unknown amount of hours. Number 15 is Fallout. No surprise here. Amazing game. Action role-playing game, huge open world. I love the post-apocalyptic sort of theme they have going. I love how they play the old 50s music and the old early, the old, even earlier than that, 20s music. And they contrast it with this kind of steampunk futuristic world, and it's all post-nuclear holocaust, and all the inventions and the crafting and just the depth of the world. It really was so cool to me. My first Fallout game was Fallout 3. That came out in 2008. There's also New Vegas, Fallout 4. I have all the collector's editions for them. I'm looking at them right now. So Fallout, no surprise here. Number 14 is GTA, Grand Theft Auto. Played them all. They're all phenomenal. My favorites are GTA 3 and Vice City. That's GTA 3 and Vice City. If you remember back in the day, this game was causing an uproar. It was on the news. The fact that you could kill hookers and run away from cops and shoot innocent people. This had all the housewives up in arms. And I remember a lot of the kids' parents wouldn't let them play this game, and kids would be sneaking over to other kids' house to play it. Thankfully, my parents were a little bit chill about this, so I could play it. But this game was amazing, and all the cheat codes, they're seared in my mind to this day. L1, L2, R1, R2, left down, right up, left down, right up. You're spawning tanks, they're dropping from the sky, you're getting infinite ammo. You could just mess with this game and have so much fun just being creative with this game. It had voice acting in it. It was just a really good game. And Vice City too, the kind of Florida, Miami, Cuban sort of vibe I had from it. In the context of the time the games felt and played, was revolutionary. Number 13 is Elder Scrolls. My first entry into the Elder Scrolls IP was Oblivion. Oblivion came out on Xbox 360, and I have some really fond memories playing Oblivion. I would go to my buddy Jim's house after school, and I just watch him. We just go explore throughout the world. It was set up in a way where you had these huge swaths of land where it was just trees and wildlife and caves in between any of the cities, and you could just go explore and find all types of unique quests and items, and the classes were really cool. It was a little clunky. It felt a little awkward, the combat, but it didn't matter. The game was so massive, and the voice acting was great. It had some kind of a dark comedic vibe to it. Really, really cool game. And then Skyrim came out, and we've all played Skyrim, right? Skyrim is an incredible game. All the mods, the storyline, the main storyline of Skyrim is so good. I really like Elder Scrolls. Number 12 is Diablo. First Diablo I bought was Diablo 2, and I bought it in a bundle. I was at Costco with my mom. She was off getting some steaks and stuff, and they used to have a video game section at Costco. I don't think they have that anymore, but I was at the video game section, and I saw Diablo 2 is bundled with the Lord of Destruction expansion. It might have had a third game in there too. I forgot what it was, but I bought these two. I came home, installed it, and Diablo is a RPG. It's this dark kind of horror themed RPG. For those of you who haven't played it, came out in 2000. Diablo 2, that is. And the game scared the crap out of me. It was so it was dark, it was scary. The monsters you would fight, but it was badass. And the crafting system, the loot system, I'd never experienced anything quite like it. And I really, really liked Diablo 2. And then Diablo 3 came out, and man, I really enjoyed Diablo 3. I fell victim to that real money auction house. I spent quite a few shekels on that auction house. But Diablo 3, really good, polished game. A lot of people didn't like it. I thought it was great. I loved the different classes. It was so polished and smooth. The whole experience, the expansion was great. I really liked Diablo. So number 11 is The Witcher. I experienced The Witcher way later than most. It came out in 2015. I I was at basic combat training. I came back for the holidays for 2 weeks, and then one of my Christmas presents was The Witcher 3, and it had the DLC in it as well, Blood and Wine. And I played it on Xbox One. I'm a little scared. You know, the older you get, the more hesitant you are towards falling in love with new games. But I tried it out. I played it in, immediately fell in love with it. I mean, the voice acting was unparalleled. Just the dialogue, the storytelling, how rich the world, the graphics were unreal. Love the characters, Geralt and Yennefer and Triss. Really like The Witcher. Then I started doing my own research into the story and finding out that it was based off a series of Polish novels. Really like The Witcher, and I'm excited to keep investing into that IP. Number 10 is Warcraft 3. We all love Warcraft 3, right? One of the best RTSs ever made. All the different races, humans, night elves, undead, orcs, all felt so distinct and unique with their own architecture and just play style. The campaign was unbelievable. This was really the first time I got invested emotionally into the Warcraft IP when playing Warcraft 3. The expansion packs, they had expansion packs, if you guys remember. The expansions were really good as well. I was also playing the multiplayer a lot, the Battle.net, that kind of old kind of ghetto Battle.net they had. I was playing that a lot, playing the custom maps, and that ties into the next one. Number 9, Dota is Dota. This ties into Dota. So Dota is the first multiplayer online battle arena. It was a mod of Warcraft 3. And I remember that at school we'd all be messing around playing in the computer lab on the different mods for Warcraft 3. But then Dota came out, and it was like this whole new... It was like the mods were taken to a whole nother level. And I remember playing it over at my buddy Michi's house when we went to go visit him in Japan. And we just played. You guys know how long Dota games take, right? We played this game for hours and hours. Oh, I've no life with this game, even in Dota 2, for so many hours, thousands and thousands of hours. Oh, it's such a great game. Number 8 is Super Smash Bros. But I'm putting the whole... This is a little bit of a stretch, but I'm putting the entire Mario IP under number 8. I'm talking Super Smash Bros., Mario Party, Mario Tennis, Super Mario 64. Every Mario game. For me, they're right here. And they've added a lot of value to my life. I've played so much Mario Party when I was a little kid with friends. So much Super Smash Bros., Brawl. You know, I still watch the Smash esports to this day. Number 7 is Starcraft. Now, I played Brood War like way after it came out, and I played it on N64. Brood War came out in '98, but I remember playing StarCraft on N64 with my buddy Max and kind of first getting introduced to StarCraft, and we played a whole lot of it. Then I got the PC version a little bit later, played it on PC, and then when StarCraft 2 came out, I was a sophomore in college, and I just fell in head over heels. I played that game so much. When I played Brood War, I was playing Protoss, and then when StarCraft 2 came out, I switched to Zerg. And when I first started playing, they didn't even have Masters League, so I got the Diamond, which was the highest league at the time, and I was just no-lifing, laddering all day, all night. And I played so much StarCraft, got to show my respect to StarCraft. The campaign was great, too. Number 6 is Zelda. More specifically, Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask. Those are my two favorite entries in the franchise. It's an action-adventure game. Came out in November 1998 on N64. This game was unbelievable. I didn't even own... I spent the majority of my time with Zelda watching my friend Carlos play. And we would just sit there trying to figure out the puzzles. The world seemed so huge. I loved the way it was stylized. The idea you had this ocarina, you could play these songs, you get your own little horse, and some of the enemies too were genuinely really macabre and scary feeling, like the little sort of spider skull things that are rotating around, and then they had the re-deads if you're at Hyrule Castle and it's too late at night. Those zombie things are walking around. Those things scared the crap out of me. Seriously, those were kind of traumatizing, and you know, just the whole universe of Hyrule was so great. The different races, fighting Ganondorf. It was just an epic adventure. Some of my fondest memories gaming ever come from Zelda. Number 5 is CounterStrike. And I'm putting a lot of these esports stuff higher up on the list because I am more of a competitive gamer. I do like the competitive gaming aspect of things, and these are the games that I've played the most of. So Half-Life isn't on this list because I never really played Half-Life. Maybe I played it a little bit, but I never really played it too much. So that's why CounterStrike is here, though. CounterStrike was started as a mod of Half-Life, came out in November 2000. The formula they have for CounterStrike is timeless. It's an unbelievable game. The whole turn-based, round-based games, the idea if you die, you have to watch your teammates, the communication, the skill, the maps. I played this game both on PC, also on Xbox Live, on the original Xbox. I was playing CounterStrike on the original Xbox Live, and I thought that was so much fun as well. I still play CSGO to this day. I've played thousands and thousands of hours of CounterStrike. Really good timeless formula. Number 4 is Hearthstone. Hearthstone Heroes of Warcraft. Now this game is a mixture of, for one, I think it's one of the best games ever made. 2, it's the game that I started my company around, Esports Hero. So this is a turn-based strategy card game made by, based on the Warcraft IP, as you guys all know. Hearthstone is impactful for a variety of reasons. One, it's sort of this esports that you can play at a super high level, but you don't need a whole bunch of APM to do it. Like your mom can play Hearthstone, your dad, people who are non-gamers, you can play it on the way to work. Or you can no-life it and grind ladder all day. And it's sort of for gamers of all skill levels. It's so fun. There is a lot of sophistication there. I love these kind of games where you're playing with prophylaxis, that chess term. You're thinking ahead. You're playing around what your opponent has. I love card games in general. Card games really, really are awesome to me. So, and then Hearthstone was the game that we built our company Esports Hero around primarily. That's why it's number 4. Number 3. Now we're in the top 3, boys. Number 3. Pokemon. Pokemon Red, Blue, Yellow, Coliseum, Stadium, Pokemon Snap, Pokemon Pinball, Pokemon Ruby, Emerald, Sapphire, all the Pokemons over the years. This is a beloved IP to me. I love Pokemon, the cards we used to collect back in the day. My first Pokemon was Pokemon Blue version, and I bought it back at a place called CompUSA. It no longer exists. It probably went out of business. And I just remember, that was probably one of the only times in my gaming history, my journey as a gamer, where I had that real, just intense moment of that intense rush when I first played this game. When I started playing Pokemon Blue, it was a wrap, dude. I was just under the covers at night, way past my bedtime, with that little light thing that would plug into your Game Boy so you could get some light on it, because I had to play like in secret because I had to go to school and my parents were telling me to go to sleep and stuff, just no-lifing in Pokemon, trading with friends, evolving your Pokemon. It just floated my boat across in every possible way. I'll still play Pokemon to this day, and even the games like Pokemon Snap and Stadium and Coliseum are really great games. Pokemon is the truth. Number 2, Halo. I know it seems like kind of generic, but I am really a big Halo fanboy. I've read the majority of all the books that have been made, especially when Halo Combat Evolved came out. This game was revolutionary. Back when it came out, I thought the graphics were amazing. The multiplayer was so good. Seeing the Flood for the first time and getting the crap scared out of me, and just feeling how dark and intense and macabre this world felt. The idea of these super soldiers really spoke to me, and space marines, and it seemed like they were really unapologetic about their IP back then. They weren't afraid of making hard decisions. The voice acting, Master Chief was a badass. The game was so good. The multiplayer, headshotting each other with pistols across the map on Blood Gulch, playing with my buddy Jake. Everyone played Halo back in the day, and we could even do LANs. I had a lot of fun playing Halo, and the reason why Halo is on here as well is it's probably the game that I've been the best at. Halo 2 specifically, that was my peak as a gamer. I was really, really good at Halo 2. I competed in tournaments. Me and my buddy Chris, we would compete in these tournaments, who later became my business partner, and I remember getting so hyped for Halo 2, reading about all the lore, skipping school to go get Halo, get in at the midnight release, and I remember getting level 37 in Slayer and pretty much all the brackets by myself, and getting that blue rank and feeling like I was an absolute legend. I was an esports legend. I was idolizing the ogre guys, and man, Halo 2, love Halo 2 so much, man. Okay, I spent too much time on Halo. Number 1, you guys already know. No surprise here. It's the GOAT. It's the best. Landslide. World of Warcraft. Based my whole channel on this pretty much. I love World of Warcraft. The universe, the in-game world is just unparalleled. Nothing even comes close to me. This game is so good. It is just the number 1 game in my heart and soul. It has added so much value to my life. It has kept so many of my friendships and relationships strong and alive. It's been the common interest that's brought us all together. I've played it for probably years of my life. I don't even know how much in-game time I have in this game, but it is an amazing game, and I can't wait for Classic. I've played every expansion, and yeah, that's it. So that's it. I've already spent a lot of time on this video. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. Please leave me your comments down below. Maybe I missed some. There's a lot of games I would have loved to include on this list. I really tried to think deeply about it, but when you put your own top 20 list together, you're going to realize that there's just too many good games out there. So this is the best, my first attempt at it. This is the best I got. So thank you for your time today, guys. I'll see you in the next video. Take it easy.